Hey Hero fans, this is Todd, and today we are going to open up Modulok. And this is the new Origins Modulok. Now before we dive into opening up this awesome Modulok, let's do a little bit of talking about Modulok, about, you know, what he is and how he started and what's going on. So this is one of the preliminary designs of Modulok. And you can see it there, kind of cool. And you can see kind of the creepiness of the Modulok design with the 4 arms, the 6 legs, the 2 heads. Kind of cool, kind of creepy, very bug-like, very cool. Now, when you first got Modulok a long time ago in the 80s, he came with 22 pieces of fun, and the back of the box showed all these 22 pieces, and you could see how cool those different pieces are. We're talking 3 sets of legs, 2 sets of arms, 5 double connector pieces, 2 heads, a torso, 2 center sections, and 2 tails. And you can see all the different coolness you could do with Modulok. Now I found this picture on eBay, and somebody had all the pieces laid out, so I figured, what the heck, I'll take that so we can see all the pieces as they were supposed to be from the Modulok. He was not really a fan of He-Man or the Masters of the Universe figures, but out of all of them, he liked this the best, being able to transform and change and pop them apart like Lego. It actually was a fun figure with lots of features for him. So my question today that I'm going to ask later on and want to talk about is, has Modulok lost his cool gimmick feature because now all of the Origins have the ability to be pulled apart and rebuilt any way you want? So because of this, you could do leg matches, head swaps. You could do all kinds of stuff. So is Modulok still as relevant today and as cool today as he was back in the 80s? Because now they all have this tear apart feature where you can take and rebuild them how you want to. So that's my question, and I'm going to talk about it at the end as well. So think of that question as we go through this. All right, so as you guys know, I collect classics. But before we hop into the classics, I do want to take a look at the original comic that came with Modulok and talks all about Modulok. So let's take a look at this comic. This comic just cracks me up. So here we have the evil horde. We have Modulok. And it looks funny, as this picture looks kind of reminiscent of our original prototype drawing of Modulok. So let's take a look at this. And he shows he can break apart and stuff and everything else with Hordak there, and has an idea. And he starts sending parts to the heroes, one piece at a time. Like, here's a leg. And you would think, wait a minute, he's sending a leg in the mail to these guys, this carrier, and here's an arm. And it's like, what the heck? And you would think it'd be pretty gross, because these wouldn't be plastic pieces. They would be fleshly pieces of this red fleshy material. Maybe he has like a shell on him on some of the parts, but still. And it's just funny how more parts keep coming in the mail, and finally heads. How creepy would that be? Now, I just think it's funny that all these pieces are sent to him, and you just think, what the heck is going on? Someone sent dead body pieces. And then, of course, he sneaks out after rebuilding himself and goes and causes havoc and all kinds of stuff. It's funny, he steps on his own head to get taller. That's hilarious. Of course, we have the Thunder Punch He-Man. Thunder Punch He-Man! I have the power of Grayskull! Oh, by the power of Grayskull, I have the power! Yeah, I can't believe one character, Modulok, ends up causing so much havoc by himself. It is hilarious. There's the 2 little Munchkin guys attacking Skeletor. Twice as much pleasure to destroy you both. which leaves a lot of questions. There's a lot of questions to this, because like when they're combined, who controls the brain? Are they two separate beings? Are they one being with one brain, two halves, like a left hemisphere and right hemisphere? How does it all work together? But again, when you're playing as a kid, you don't think of any of that stuff at all. Anyway, let's go and close the book on this. Huh. Closed it is. And now let's take a look at the golden book. The Horde. Bum, 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 bum. And in here, we have some Horde, and there is Modulok. And I believe this is the only picture of him in the whole entire book. So there he is. You just get one shot of him. Look, there's young Skeletor before he had his skull face when he was the apprentice. And I think that's the only Modulok picture in the whole book. Let's look at it again. One more time. If I can find it. There it is. There he is. I'll stop moving the camera for a minute so you guys can get a good look at him. Dun, 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 dun. Close the book on that one. And now let's take a look at the Modulok collector card. This is one of the collector cards you could get of Modulok. Now it's funny, it just looks so Dragon Ball Z-ish the way the necks are stretched like that. But look how creepy this is. It's like ooey gooey creepy, almost like was it John Carpenter, The Thing? I forget what his name is, but basically that movie The Thing, where it's just kind of grows parts and separates out. Not only has 2 hands in this one, but he's got all 6 legs. And there is the Modulok. Now I will include a PDF of this if you want to print it out. In fact, I'll include a PDF of all the things I've shown, this and the 22 pieces and this prototype picture. I'll have all 3 of those out for you guys to print your own copies if you choose to. So with Classics, we got Modulok, and he was also able to rebuild any way you wanted to, and this is my 4-arm, 2-head, 6-legged version. So cool. And then I decided to make one that's more humanoid version. Here's my humanoid version. Boop, boop. And then of course the spare parts left over from the humanoid version is this guy right here, which is kind of funny. I had to actually I think I had to alter this piece here to make it work the way I wanted it to. But still, it's kind of fun because now you have the bug guy, the human guy, and I did use the green eyes on him because he has the green knee pads, and I kind of matched the green and the green. But in reality, I'd probably put this on the bug head and this on the human head, but whatever. It still works good that way. And then my last one I made was my Filmation version, where he's got 3 legs the same, and in the Filmation version he has 3 claws, so I had to actually alter the hands to give it 3 claws on both sides. And there he is, and of course he's holding his head in the Filmation version. So there is my cool Classics Filmation version that I'd made myself. Nice little ab crunch. Oh, lost the head. Hang on to your head, man. Yeah, because the original toy came with 3 claws and 2 claws. So the cartoon had 3 claws on both sides. So again, had to do a little bit of creative thinking to make it work there. And then we actually got a Filmation version, which again has the 2 heads, and I believe it's going to be changed out. You pull that off and put the 1 head on if you choose to. And then you can see it has the 3 legs with the black on top and the purple, and kind of a cool thing. Now he is not interchangeable. You can't just pull parts off on this one except for his head. Everything else is pretty much stuck the way it is. But still, it's kind of cool. It's Filmation. And then I have a pile of extra parts here from my Classics versions. So this is my thing, like I was talking about John Carpenter's movie. I think it was John Carpenter, where it's just a mesh of parts all crawling around on the ground. The thing. All right, so when it came to this version here, there was one major flaw. One flaw only. The parts were perfect. The interchangeability is perfect. Kind of hard to change though on some of them. But our one flaw was it did not separate here between the waist and the torso. So this was connected all the time. You could not change that out. It was one solid piece, which for most things, not a problem. I mean, you could use a one solid piece to create just about anything you wanted to without a problem, except for the Mega Monster. You could not make the Mega Monster because the Mega Monster has just the upper torso being used here and here and here. And I can't tell what that piece is there, but you can see the upper torso is being used by itself without the leg pieces connected. So it took away from people wanting to make this. So a lot of customizers online, they made their own version where they figured out a way to separate this right here in order to do that. So that was the only flaw with the classics. I love the way they made this. It's just so cool. I think classics did an awesome job with all the connection points. It just looks creepy like the original was supposed to look. So way fun, way creepy, really cool. I actually love this figure for all the interchangeability you can do with him and all the coolness that goes along with all the joints and how they look. It's just cool. You can almost imagine this being like a crustacean, and then this being fleshy right here, and same thing there too, crustacean, fleshy, and even his neck and all the parts of the connect. Such an awesome job, Mattel. All right, so that now, oh, and this is also included in the PDF file as well. You can download in the link. So what's left is to open up the new one and see what they have given us. Did they give us the 22 parts? Is it going to match the original toy? Is the waist and torso going to be separated in one piece? Now it does say here contains one piece. So interesting that it calls out one piece when really it should be multiple pieces. It has a picture here showing all the chunks, and we will see how this mirrors and matches up in a few minutes. So let's go ahead and get this open. And I haven't really looked online yet to see other people's reviews. Look at that, 40th anniversary of She-Ra. Let me go ahead and slice this open. Slice and dice. And we will marry the parts up and see how close they are to the original toy way back in 1985. Huh. Just an empty tube box. I kind of like that. It's to protect the top from getting folded. Bum, 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 bum. Whoa, he is kind of big looking. It's funny because the original one was so small, very small proportions, and he looks pretty beefy. All right, modern retro play, meaning you can pull him apart just like you could in the past. And you can see they have him kind of built similar to my Filmation version. In fact, he's very Filmation-y. He's even got the lines across the chest and everything else. This should be purple though, but still very Filmation-y. He's got the two heads. He's got the claws, the 3 and the 2. He's got the humanoid feet this time instead of the claw feet, which is the Filmation of the claw feet. All right, and down here it says 34 body parts, not 22. So we got more body parts in this new set than the original. Create 1,000+ monsters. That is a lot. Now I'm guessing they have more parts because the hands come apart now too. That's what I'm guessing is probably more. But we'll match them up and we'll see. Look how cool that She-Ra looks there. Oh, she is so cool looking. Yes, look at that artwork. Oh, look at that. Oh, what is her name? Someone post it in the comments. Then we have Bo. Look, there he is. I found Lukey. And then we have the rock transforming people. Is that Claudine? It looks male though. Those muscles are too big to be Claudine. Interesting. And we got a Horde trooper over here. Some crazy looking snake guy over there. He's a Horde person. Huh. It's like a scorpion Horde person bug. It's like he also has 6 legs. I wonder, is this going to be a different Modulok we're going to get later? Because it looks very Modulok-like-ish. Interesting. Okay. Had enough looking at the box. Let's go and turn it around. You got some more different ways you can make them. Some more different ways. What the heck? What the heck? Where's his head? I guess you have to put his head on the front right here. Interesting. Alright. Now the hard part. Deciding to save the box or not. You know, I'm just going to carefully cut it open. So if I change my mind, I can put it back in the box. Now, Modulok is not in my top 11, as you guys know. For those that have watched the show for a while and seen lots of my videos, you know Modulok is not in the top 11, but he's still pretty cool. Oops, I'm not going to get this box open without destroying it, alright? Ugh. Well, look at that. They show all the parts right there. Wow. That is one heck of a lot of parts. Well, since some of the parts are different, it's a little harder to categorize these. So, we got these here. I'm not sure what those are for. Some kind of connector points. And we have all 6 of the legs. We have all 4 of the arms. We got the 2 heads. We have 2 tails. So that's the same. And so where the parts get different then are all the connection parts. The 2 guns. And then we have this here. That's new. Is that a snowboard? So this is supposed to be a shield, huh? You know what it's probably for? It's probably for popping the parts apart. Looks like some kind of pry tool for getting the parts apart. That's clever if it is Mattel. And they have our midsection here. So midsection, tail. So we have all the original stuff. We have extensions here for the necks. That's new. And then these are the divider pieces. And I see a problem. Oh, right there. Never mind. My problem has gone away. I was thinking you can't put 4 arms on because you don't have enough of these. Alright. So let's count them before we take them apart. See if they counted the hands or not, set of pieces. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26. And then all these, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35. Oh, 36. Let's see the box set again. 34 body parts. So the gun must not count as the body part then. Still miscounted somewhere. Oh well. Let's take him out of here. If I ever get out of here. Oh, look at that. He's got a little short tails piece sticking out. So, he's supposed to be the mad scientist of the Universal Monsters. So that's what he represents. Does that come out of there? I was thinking this might be the plug for that. Okay, so he does have the same arm slots as Flea Man. Do. So you can be doing some cool, weird, crazy swaps with your standard figures. Ooh, it's a little tighter on him. So there is some interchangeability with your standard masters. We will take He-Man out of here. Get out of here, He-Man! There we go. Let's go and take a look at the directions before I go much further, because I usually don't do that. Sticky tape. And let's see what we got here. Top view. Okay, well, it has some brown or gray parts here, so it's like those all come apart. Tip, joints indicated with dotted circles are non-detachable. Oh, that's good to know. I guess they don't come apart there. I'm glad I didn't rip that part off. That's so confusing, because why have the dotted lines like that and make them gray when all the other things we saw, gray meant they come apart? I just assumed the gray meant it came apart. The joints indicated with dotted circles are non-detachable. Do not attempt to pry these joints from any toy parts or use excessive force in removing the toy parts connected to them. Okay then. So what the heck are all these extension pieces for? That's just crazy. Crazy. Because if these don't come off... Oh, I see. This is made to plug into the shoulder pieces. Like so. If you wanted to hook a leg to it. What are these for then? I guess just to hook them up like that, huh? Okay. Not a lot of usability for those, but it's alright. Alright. First things first, we have to build this guy here. Let's recreate this guy here. We will recreate him. So let's start from the head down. We need a two-pronged piece for the head. So I already had that on to begin with. Oh, put the green on the wrong side. You know what? It looks better this way. Hooray! Now when it's these pieces here... Oh, I'm starting to pick up what they're laying down. Let's see what we got going on here. So I need to use two of these. These little shorty McShorties. To put these on. Now let's see if the arms plug in here. This one goes on the bottom. Hey, it fits in there. This one goes on the top. There we go. This one goes on the bottom. Hooray! This one goes on the top. ZZ top, man. There we go. And we have the regular legs. That was pretty easy. Then we have a mid attachment point. And the tail with those pieces, so yikes. Looks like this has seen better days. Something went wrong there. I'm gonna have to heat that up and fix that. That is just mangled. Oh, now it's broken, mangled. You can see the dirt mark on it too, so something happened in the factory with that. There we go. It's one of those pieces they say do not try to separate. Alright, let's stick that on his butt. There we go. Now we gotta stick some legs on. The next one are these legs. Nope. What? Weird. Okay. These are next. Let's see. I should have definitely got some hot water out. Fit. Okay, I'll be right back. I gotta get some hot water. These are not going together without hot water. Alright, I am back with my hot water. Hot water! And let's continue on trying to build this guy. There he is. There's my broken piece here that Mattel sent me. And you want these legs here with the fins without the white toenails. We'll toss these two legs in just to use the fins to hang them on there. And let's see, where's the final tail? So this piece is going to connect it. You have to use one of those double-sided ball bearing barbells. That's tight too. Okay. Where's that insertion tool? That does not work very good for an insertion tool. Fit, fit, fit. There we go. Okay, so let's try these legs first. Now they've been thoroughly heated up. There we go. Much better. They're just going to pop right back off. And do 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 do. All right. We're almost done. We got 2 more legs to attach. Cook, cook. Okay, stick this one here. Actually worked way better. This one's ready to break too. Look at that. Man. There we go. So there we go. We have successfully rebuilt my monstrosity over there in Origins. And the crazy part is he is so big, he is almost the same size as my classics. Look at that. That's crazy. Crazy. Let's see how tall he is next to Flea Man. Yes, he is quite a bit taller. You can see just him standing up his front part of his body. He-Man's head comes to about the top of his neck. So Modulok is a much bigger figure, which is funny because the original Modulok toy was actually a little bit smaller figure than the He-Man figures. So he is actually bigger, quite a bit bigger than the Origins. You know, if you were to throw some kind of shading on them and some detail paint, you could just pass this off as probably even a Masterverse. There we go. There we go. All right. We've done one. Let me go ahead and pause this while I try to build. I will just leave it running. What the heck? I want to see if I can build. Here is my standard guy. Here he is. Let's see if we can build this guy here. We'll just call him Larry for a better name. Let's see if we can build Larry. So Larry's pretty easy. Basically, it's just pop all this stuff off the back. I wish this piece would come off, because you may not want that tail sticking out there all the time. And then we'll pull these off. And Larry has human hands. Human hands. And a green-eyed head. There we go. So this is our standard humanoid version of him. And let's compare the humanoid version of him with He-Man again. And again, he is quite a bit bigger than He-Man. Now, this guy over here was supposed to be the leftover parts. So let's see if we can build him out of the leftover parts. So it's this tail here. And this tail was attached, to that same piece right there. Just put that right back together. And then these were replaced. He had these legs. And he had this head. So let's see, they got a connector piece. Before we do that, let's still throw the arms on there. Oh, you can't. Dun, 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 dun. So we're going to need these pieces here. Heat them up. And then, in order to connect that head, I'm going to need another barbell. Barbell. There we go. Kind of a little skinny neck there, but, you know, he's bug-like. What the heck? And let's see if these are ready yet. Are you ready? Are you ready for this? Dun 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 dun. And then the arms. Joop. All right, you can kind of build him. He's not quite as exact, but there we go. So you could build two complete weird-looking bug guys and still have parts left over. Alright, let's check out the gun now. The last piece we have still not checked out. There's still a few pieces. We haven't tried this tail out at all. And these pieces here are just extenders. You can see how it just has the exact same piece inside there, just to make something longer if you wanted to. And the gun goes like this, like we've always seen, but it has a new feature too, is it can also go like this. Something we have not seen before. Look at that. And there's more pieces too for more arms, so if you wanted to put a bunch of arms everywhere you could. All right. We'll give him the two guns. Okay, after this we have one more to build, and that is the Filmation one. Now we can't do it exactly right because the Filmation one has 3 claws on each hand. We can get close though. So let's get my Filmation pretend one. And let's see how close we can get. And that is this guy right here. Well, I can already tell we're not going to have that third leg, so never mind. Basically, it's just taking him and adding a leg on his butt. There we go. Doo-doo-doo. There's your Filmation-ish looking guy. Oh, and of course you put the claw hands on him instead, but you get the idea. All right. So cool. For a kid, I think it's not the easiest because as you saw, I had to monkey around with hot water and had to monkey with that. And there's 2 parts that are almost broken when it came to me. These 2 parts here, you can see right here in that spot that it's just not very well connected there. And then on this side right here, same thing. It's just something went wrong during the build. But I can see the playability and the funness of it. If I was going to collect these as my mainstay, I would get a couple of these, at least 2, and I would build some pre-made guys that I would just swap out as opposed to change all their parts all the time. It's a hassle to keep changing them. Just like I did with my classics, I have my 4 main guys. I have my Larry guy. I have my Mo guy. Mo! And then I have my Filmation guy. Hold your extra head there, man. Hold it. Grasp it firmly. He's just not going to hold it. Let's try this hand. There we go. Fits better in that hand. No! I just put it in there. Hold it. And then I have my 6-leg, 4-arm monstrosity. The ultimate Modulok. So that's what I'd probably do if I was going to collect Origins as my mainstay. I'd probably get enough sets to do these 4 guys here, which is what I did with my my classics. So there you go. All right, so here's what I want to know from you. After seeing all the stuff I can do with this, and whether you guys have it or not, with all of the alterations you can do with these 2 figures, or 1 figure with lots of parts, is it as cool as it was in the 80s? Or is it kind of lame because we can still pull apart the He-Man figures and other characters the same way? So that's what I want to know from you guys. Let me go and change lights really quick. This light's dying. While you finish this up. Or is this cool feature of being able to swap parts a thing of the past because we can now just swap them this easily? Of course, you know it's kind of fun. Let's try something. Let's try this. Let's do this thing. Oh, it's a tight fit. Tight fit? Ugh. Yeah, it's too tight. The joints are a little bit different sizes than He-Man. I was going to stick this on here and then add 4 He-Man arms and see what it would look like making a 4-armed He-Man. But it's just too tight. Oh, there we go. Now I'll never get it back out of there. If I ever get out of there. Oh, that's tight too. Imagine having those parts in skin tone. Where's another He-Man? So let's go ahead and do a He-Man Skeletor mashup. Mashup. Now if I want to, I could take and mix the hot water too and give 1 leg of each. Where is the split head piece? There it is. That is loose on there. Oh, his head's on there tight. Too tight to pull off. To use some hot water for a minute. That's stinky, that's so wobbly on there. He-Man was hit with the Skeletor ray. Da 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 da. Okay, anyway. And so that's my question is it really that cool that you can mix and match parts with this figure when you could already do it with the regular figures already? Now, granted, I didn't have these 3 parts here, which kind of gave me more playability and more fun. But just the idea that Modulok has kind of lost his cool gimmick now that all the figures can swap parts. So that's what I know from you guys. And that is pretty much it. Larry, stay standing. There we go. Oh. And that is it, you guys. Good journey. Good journey. Bye now.
If you found enjoyment, like, subscribe, and ring the bell. Do it.